Thank you very much for giving us a bit of your time this morning, Herbert. So let me ask you, what do Cameroonian youth want or are seeking in this particular election?
I will tell you boldly that if there's one thing Cameroonian youths are seeking in the context of this election is change. They need a change so badly.
Why do they need change? President Paul Biya of the CPDM has been in power since the early 90s. Why do they need change now?
If you ask from the aspirations, from what we've always had as discussions with youth, especially when we have forums, campaigns or seminars, when we are talking about policy change and so on, and you always hear Cameroonian youth tell you that they are tired of an old degrading system. Yes, he has been there for 43 years, but how has it been helpful for youth? So at 43 years, a child is born, goes to all levels of education and even becomes a PhD holder with one system of governance, an autocratic one. We are hoping that
how do you say it's an autocratic one when Paul Biya has been consistently re-elected?
He has been consistently re-elected. That I can say it's true, according to what we have at statistics. But indirectly, we are almost not in a democracy. We are in a system where there's a lot of propaganda, especially when it comes to youth empowerment, telling young persons we are doing this for the youth, but they are doing it without the youth. So, and we've said it clean and clear as youth leaders before now, that there is no future for us without us. We need to be on the table. We don't need to be on the plate.
Issa Chiromo Bakari, the former information minister who moved on to other portfolios, recently resigned from the government and is number 2 on the popularity index, followed by perhaps the SDF and other minority parties. He is also not a spring chicken, as Americans will say. He's quite about 60 years old. So if you want change, and yet this man who resigned from the ruling government is number 2 on the popularity index, then what change are the young people really seeking? It's just that anybody goes?
Generally, I would say we are at a crossroads where we almost do not have a choice. Young persons have been relegated to the back, and politics in Cameroon has been clearly put that we have a lot of persons who we at one point want to question their interests, and if they have anything as interest for young persons, as some sort of dedication or wanting to really serve us. Yes, Issa Chiroma had been in the current government and so on, but it's also true that the way power is structured in this country, to decide to give it up is something we want to applaud. At a time when our hands are tied, at a time when we need change so badly, we are tempted to feel that even if the change is not exactly a young person coming up to preach new policies and so on, we just need a shift in reasoning. Sure, Issa Chiroma is not just going to be a Paul Biya. He's going to have his own aspirations as a total boss. We want that the presidency should not seem like a monarchy system where you spend 50 years on seat in the 21st century. That's what we are hoping to get. We were hoping that we are going to get more vibrant young persons on these polls, the polls of the 12, the likes of Ateki Caxton. But at one point, politics is not just something you have to jump in 1 month or 2 months to election, declare yourself candidate, submit your documents, and want people to probably vote. It must be something you have been working in the background. As such, where we are, if it's Issa Chiroma to bring the change, I guess probably that's what Cameroonians need. They need a change.
But Herbert, this is not the first time Cameroonians have asked for a change in government. It's been so many times where the youth say we need change. Yes, yet the status quo remains. What makes it particularly different this time around, in your view?
What makes it different this time around is that we have had escalating price hikes, escalating levels of inflation, escalating levels of youth unemployment. I bet you if you are here in Cameroon, Simon, you'll get to understand that young persons now, the order is go to school, get a BSc, get a BA, get an MSc, and come back to the streets to hustle. Half of Cameroonian graduates only do online selling of shoes and clothes and so on. And that's not the future that they want. So it is high time that they ask for change bluntly. They need it just so badly.
Do the young people believe Elecum, Elections Cameroon, the only constitutionally mandated body to organize elections in Cameroon, do they have confidence that Elecum will organize free, fair, transparent, and credible elections?
No.
Why?
They have it as a syndrome, or let me put it that way, that Elecum is corrupt because the officials are appointed by the head of state. So
But that is not unique to Cameroon. In other places like Malawi, where the incumbent president lost to former President Arthur Peter Mutharika, the chairperson of the Malawi Electoral Commission was appointed by outgoing President Chakwera.
Okay, we as youth, I think we've had these discussions before today on this interview, Simon, and most of them want to say, why can't Elecum be controllable, supervised from the level of the parliament, where it has a composure of so many other persons? I don't feel I want to compare Cameroon's democracy to Malawi, because I don't see it being so far better to us. One of the things too that they believe that drawing from the 92s with our father, John Funzi, who is of late, they believe that that election was rigged through Elecum. And they believe too that when you are in government, you are very close to a system, you dine and wine with the system. It's difficult for you to let it go. Obviously, you are going to pay allegiance to the person who makes you the Elecum boss. It's not a lie that we grew up to hear about the statements that my hands were tied. That at one point you want to declare elections, you want to give the results, but your hands were tied. Why were your hands tied? Why is declaring results a little bit complex for you? So there's this trust that they have grown with it. We can't say it is true because we don't have facts to back it up. But over time, we've held an advocacy to tell young persons that it's true that you might feel that they steal your vote and so on. But if you want not to be on, you don't want to join the queue of persons saying this, you should come on board. Come and see what happens at the polling stations. Be there so that you know what to say. If the figures are rigged and so on, they're supposed to do the counting in front of you. You're supposed to know that this is how it transpired from year to year. They carry the boxes to this place and so on. But when you just vote, abandon it and go, you blame Elecum. But you're blaming Elecum. What's up all if you stay in the background? The youth even have the ideology that for every government process that they go through and have to register using a biometric registration, using their fingerprint, they feel that Elecum is going to use it to generate some information and use it somehow to probably play about their voting. But at one end, it's not true. There's a lot of assumption. At another end, we attempted to really act is in Elecum really an independent body, and I don't know, it feels like it's an arm of the government.
So before we go, Herbert, do you see change happening in Cameroon?
I see change happening in Cameroon under one clause. We need the oppositions to give us an option for a coalition. The population has been asking for this from Marua to Southwest, to the Gaslands, to South, to Betua, to Bamenda. Every town, we are asking for a coalition. We need these people to bury their ego and give us a coalition. We need them to give us a consensus candidate. One, let Bello wrap up, let Chiruma wrap up, let Akere wrap up, let take it up and tell us that this is one person. Let it be clear that if you want change, this is the box. If you want the same system, this is the box. Let it be clear. If we have so many persons, it's a distraction.
Thank you very much, Herbert, for speaking with us today. We'll continue this conversation another time.